Guten Tag, my name is DMAD, and welcome to another installment of Kingsnake Canyon Zoo. So, in this episode, we are continuing the South American section of the zoo. We're building a large basin for a bunch of South American rainforest herbivores. Before I wanted to start the main habitat, I was actually working on this little pool that would be behind what's going to be the waterfall. So, I want to make the pool as big as I could. The initial intent was to make it a flamingo habitat, but I don't know if it's big enough for the flamingo habitat requirements. I might continue that at the later date, but for now, it also serves the purpose as kind of the what's the word? The source for the water. Like water will come into the pool on top, and then it'll overflow and fall into the waterfall or fall into the main basin below. I thought I'd add an interesting little rock structure where you have some more gray, cleaner kind of looking rocks with browner ones on top. Kind of like the water washes away the dust and stuff. So, adding a rock wall around everywhere, some outcropping or some rocks that kind of stick up above the rest. And then I started testing the water limits, how deep I wanted the water on the bottom before starting to make the waterfall. Making a big, huge, functional waterfall. Adding the middle part there. Like I said, the water will overflow, so it kind of overflows at three main locations. So, and then yeah. So, and this habitat is going to be themed around different South American rainforest animals. So. It was kind of hard because it was hard to make the waterfall because you had to have the tops kind of in the right position. At this part, it was also kind of hard to shape the pool. I had to get rid of the water because I wanted it to be kind of a smooth way into the pool. But once that was done, I added a nice little sandy beach, made a mix of dirt, sand, and grass. And then also, I wanted to make a rock wall so that the animals couldn't climb out, trying to utilize that natural barrier. In one of the previous episodes, there was the spectacled bear habitat, which I just tried to make a dense background so that it kind of looked like the forest kept going. But in this, I wanted to make more of just like a moss kind of covered rock wall. So yeah, trying to also add bits of rocks to try and make it look more broken up, but using bigger rocks helps make it go by faster. Adding a few different trees, including Brazil nuts, and also trying to cover up as much of the wall so that it is hard to see. I wanted to have that central kind of area so you could see the animals with the dense kind of jungle on the side. I'm also adding some stumps and dead trees to the side. I'll get to that later. Some palms and mangroves around. Because, this is supposed to represent the Amazon. Also adding a few smaller plants, and the dead trees are kind of a hint at kind of a conservation message I want to do later on. Just kind of the conservation message of, you can kind of see it, but we're just talking about deforestation. I'll probably cover that in the later episode. But then I'm adding a little hut in the middle of the forest, adding all this bedding. And yeah, going along with a more natural barrier, I wanted to add a trench, but then I think I ended up putting a fence on along anyways. I wanted to add an elevated walkway because I know it could be kind of hard for guests to see the whole habitat, see all the animals, which kind of works as it gives the animals privacy, but I still want guests to kind of, see the animals. So I added this elevated walkway, this elevated platform, which can also double as shade for the people underneath. I'll probably add something later for the shade because Arizona heat's hot. Anyways, adding the food and enrichment, getting all that. I also wanted to add a little walkway above here. This would also help if I do ever include some kind of waterfowl in the pool above the habitat. So we'll see how that turns out later. It's just kind of making these habitat borders that would mess it up. But yeah, then just adding a simple metal mesh fence, just because These aren't going to be real dangerous animals. I'm not adding primates or anything because they could climb it. And then also adding the invisible barrier around because I don't think I need it. Adding another mesh barrier and, just to keep the animals from getting out. I went ahead and added or extended the stone wall. So that kind of, again, mixes the barrier you have natural and an artificial barrier. So yeah. And then after that, I also want to kind of continue on the pathway. So I decided for the outer section of the pathway, I wanted to just include more like Arizona plants, like North American desert plants. So focus on like the South American plants in the habitats themselves. Adding a bunch of trash cans and I'm going to add some benches there. I just wanted to keep the theme up with the South American section. So yeah. And now I'm getting the animals. You may notice that there are some albino animals. You may notice that there's some albino animals in the, like in the trade center. And I did finally figure out how to download the mod for adding more albino animals, but we'll worry about that later. But yeah, the three species I'm putting in here at the moment are going to be capybara, Barrett's tapirs, and a giant anteater. As you see, I'm also putting in the baby Aldabra tortoises. And the reason I wanted to do that is just because I wanted to... Oh, there's the penguins with their magic. You remember last episode, the penguins kept somehow getting into the rocks. So, anyways, I'm adding the path here. So it's going to loop back around to the penguins. And then kind of extending a staff pathway. Make it easier so you don't have to go all the way around. But anyways, I added the Aldabras just because, it's kind of a start to, because I have so many animals in the trade center. So these guys are going to kind of represent Galapagos tortoises, or the smaller tortoises you'd see in South American setting. But yeah, I'm hoping to continue this and Kingsnake Canyon later on, though might have to see because I think another Appetite for Plant Zoo is on its way, so we will see sometime in the future. But as you can see, the video's ended, so... But yeah, and with that, I think we're done here. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, consider liking and subscribing to the channel. Link tree in the description as always. And share this video out to anyone who likes Planet Zoo builds, South America habitats, or just zoos and animals in general. I thank you all for watching, and remember, always be prepared, do good daily, and love nature. For your life is a canvas, and you have the brush. Auf Wiedersehen!